appreciate the enthusiasm of the New York delegation.
Well, it was very disappointing, in fact, disgusting, because Trump won fair and square, and these other candidates are stepping up and endorsing Trump, and he wouldn't do it. And if he thinks he's going to run for president in 4 years, he better think again.
Ted's not a politician. He doesn't lie. He is who he is, and he says what he says. And he's not going to lie to the American people if he doesn't believe that Donald Trump is going to be good for them.
And vote your conscience, vote for candidates up and down the ticket who you trust to defend our freedom and to be faithful to the Constitution.
Joining me is Bob Walker, former congressman of Pennsylvania. Bob, it was just electric in that room. I mean, he was booed off the stage. In your mind, was this an act of sabotage? Was this a stab in the back? Or is Ted Cruz a man of principle doing what he thought was right?
Well, I think it's a dynamic of a convention. I mean, what you have is people whipped into a frenzy, and you come in and you don't follow the script. And the fact is that the delegates are going to get very upset about it. The fact is that Donald Trump has admitted he knew that Ted Cruz was not going to endorse him last night.
So why didn't he let him on the stage then, Bob?
Well, I think
people are saying if he can't run his own convention, how's he going to run the country?
Well, but it may well have been planned that way. Is that probably in terms of the convention, they became more united by Ted Cruz not endorsing Trump, and it leads to tonight when Trump's speech now will be the culmination and will be the uniting factor for the convention.
They may have been united on the convention floor, but in some ways, didn't Ted Cruz actually address the real elephant in the room right now, which is the fact that the party is split? Across the country, there is a lack of unity in the party.
Yeah, but I think that the reality is that at the convention that you have a group of people who are the activists in the party who are now preparing themselves to go back and assure that as we move the campaign forward, that the party will be united. Look, I mean, I'm a John Kasich advisor. I was with the Kasich campaign, and John has not come out and endorsed Donald Trump either. I mean, a lot of us have concerns about things that Donald Trump has said during the campaign. But in terms of last night, I don't think that it changes the trajectory very much.
Are you going to vote for Donald Trump?
Oh, probably. You know, the alternative to me of somebody who has proven that she puts herself before the country is such that I simply can't vote for her.
So what are your concerns still then about Donald Trump? What are you hoping to see from him tonight that's going to make you feel a little bit better about giving him your vote?
I'd like to know that he is serious about moving the country in a direction that makes us a leader in the 21st century. And by that I mean he has to take what he has described to the American people and put it into policy. I mean, so far he has not made serious policy proposals. He has done basically headlines. What we need from Donald Trump is for him to talk seriously about what the country needs to do to be a leader in the 21st century.
And are you concerned about what appears to be his rather cavalier approach to foreign policy, making comments almost off the cuff about how he isn't going to stand by NATO commitments potentially?
I'm extremely concerned about that. And I mean, I think when Newt Gingrich gave his speech last night in which he outlined why we are at war with ISIS at the present time and with radical Islamic terrorism, I think that made the case that we have to have a serious program for defeating ISIS and for assuring that the world is united in a war that's being conducted against us and which we have not yet fully acknowledged.
So Donald Trump tweeting, let's just bomb the hell out of ISIS, that's not a strategy, is it? You want to hear more from him about exactly what the plan is.
I mean, certainly taking effective military action is one piece of defeating ISIS. But it's also true that ISIS is conducting a war in social media. And there are a whole series of issues that involve defeating radical Islamic terrorism. And bombing may be a piece of that, but it's not a full-blown strategy.
I've got to ask you about Mike Pence, the running mate of Donald Trump. He almost appears irrelevant now. I mean, there are three moments for the VP candidate, and that is, the announcement, which was a bit botched, the convention. He was massively overshadowed, wasn't he, by Ted Cruz?
Well,
and now he's still got the debate to come. No one is talking about Mike Pence today, and it was meant to be his moment.
Well, we're not talking about Mike Pence today, but the fact is, I thought Mike Pence presented himself to the country very well last night. So that if you have Republicans across the country who were looking at their vice presidential candidate who don't know Mike Pence, I think they came away very, very impressed. I thought Mike Pence did an absolutely superb job last night of presenting himself to the country.